Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to talk about the Central Armed Police Forces. All right. Now, Central Armed Police Forces are actually paramilitary forces, but the name paramilitaries was dropped down in 2011. All right. And it was renamed as Central Armed Police Forces. We'll talk about later. I'm just giving you a little overview about the Central Armed Police Forces. And now the CAPFs are these are the collective services which are responsible for the internal peace. All right, and they act under the Ministry of Home Affairs, and these are technically the paramilitary forces. All right, here you can see these are technically paramilitary forces. These are actually paramilitary forces which does the work of paramilitary, but uh, we will talk later more about it. Okay, in the video I've told everything about it, and I'm just giving little bit overview. All right, and these are responsible for the security of this country, that is the internal peace. All right, externally we have the armed forces, the army, air force, and the navy, along with supported by the Indian Coast Guard. But internal peace has been managed by the Central Armed Police Forces. Now here I have made a this PDF recently, very recently, just I believe yesterday only. I've created it late night, and the Central Armed Police Forces and the Central Paramilitary Forces. Now both are different. Now the CAPF, that is Central Armed Police Forces, does the work of paramilitary itself, but we cannot term it as paramilitary. All right, because the Central Paramilitary Forces are somewhat different. Understood? Now, it was all CAPFs were earlier CPMFs, all right, Central Paramilitary Forces. But in 2011, 5 out of 7 CPMFs were renamed to be CAPFs by P. Chidambaram, who was then Home Minister. He had some problem with the military word. Okay, so instead of military, he used armed forces, Central Armed Police Forces. And even in the laws, also, he renamed the military rule as martial law, military law as the martial law. So he had some, he thought that the word military is quite jagging for him. So he changed the word to as the paramilitary, from paramilitary to armed police forces. All right. Now, if we talk about this, we can easily understand that the Union Home Ministry, what they did, that they bifurcated CPMF, the whole all the forces, all right, into CPOs and PMFs and the CPFs. Now CPFs are the Central Armed Police Forces, all right, or Central Police Forces. CPOs consist of all the CPFs, all right, that is Central Paramilitary Forces, sorry, Central Police Forces, along with Delhi Police, and it also include the CBI and IB, all right. These all the government organization, which are the law enforcement organization, are consisting within the CPOs. And the paramilitary forces, now they are consisting of only two paramilitary forces, that is Assam Rifles and NSG. We will talk later more detail about it. Now, the Union Home Ministry has fixed the retirement age of all Central Armed Police Forces as personnel at 60 years. All right, 60 years is the retirement age. And the CAPFs, the Central Armed Police Forces, refer to seven international security forces in India. These are the seven international security forces. All right, they deal with the internal security forces. Now they all operate under Ministry of Home Affairs. These are Assam Rifles, all right, and Border Security Force, Central Industrial Security Force, Central Reserve Police Force, Indo-Tibetan Border Police, and National Security Guard, along with Sashastra Seema Bal. All right. Now, each of these seven has its own cadre officer. We all know that. All right. They all have the same cadre officer, but they are headed by officers of Indian Police Service. Now, this Indian Police Services are heading all the five Central Armed Police Forces. All right, that is the Border Security Force, the Central Industrial Security Force, the Central Reserve Police Force, the Indo-Tibetan Border Police. All right, and the National Security Guards, and the Seema Bal. These all six of them are headed by the Indian Police Services officers, that is the IPS officers. But the Assam Rifles, All right, the Assam Rifles has been it is headed by an army officer. All right, who is also known as DG AR. That is DG Assam Rifle. All right, and there is no work of IPS officers in the Assam Rifles. We will talk later more, but I want to tell you a little bit more about it. The Assam Rifles are consisting of the military officers, that is the army officers, along with Assam Rifles' own cadre officers at the rank of assistant commandant, deputy commandant, and second in command. Then the commandant or the senior commandant. Then we have the DIG, IG, ADG, and DG. All right. Now let's talk more about the Assam Rifles. How beautifully I've created. I'm just proud of myself. Now Assam Rifles, these comes under the CPMFs. All right. Now this is the logo of Assam Rifles. You can see, and this is the dress of Assam Rifles. All right. Now the Assam Rifles came into being in 1835. It is the oldest paramilitary forces, and then it was a militia. All right, known as Chachar Levy. All right, and it was primarily it is primarily to protect the British tea estate. Britishers used to have the tea farms, and those area which are making tea, they were very fond of tea. So these Chachar Levy, these militia was came into being in 1835 to just safeguard the tea states of the Britishers and their settlements against the tribal raids. All right, and this force significant contributes in open reaching of administration and commerce. And over time, they also known as the right arm of civil and left arm of the military. All right, means now Assam Rifles is basically what they are doing. There are these are the emotions of Northeast. Now they have been activated in the Northeast completely, and they are these are made to show that the government doesn't do any atrocities on the civilian by the military forces. These are actually to help the civil people, that is civilians, but it is also part of military. That means it is half military and half civil. That's why the name the paramilitary came. Now the post independence role of Assam Rifles continue to evolve, ranging from the conventional combat role during Sino-India War in 1962. All right, operating in foreign land as part of Indian peacekeeping forces at Sri Lanka. So these were also IPKF in the Sri Lanka during the 1987 Operation Pavan. All right, for peacekeeping role in northeastern areas of India, and the administration under Home Ministry, and their administration is under Home Ministry, but their operation capabilities under the Defense Ministry. All right, it is a combined effort of Home Ministry as well as Defense Ministry, but due to administration, it comes under the Home Ministry. All right, now the officers are either from Assam Rifles cadre, directly recruited, or sometimes they are given promotion into the Assam Rifles, the below officer rank people, and or either they are from the Indian Army. Now we will talk about the border security forces. All right, this is the border security force, and Baga border they give guard, and this is the uniform of the border security force personals. All right, and BSF was mainly formed to give protection as the first line of defense in the Pakistan and the Bangladesh. Now, BSF is the border guarding force of India and established on December 1st, 1965. Okay, it is the one-foot paramilitary force charged with guarding India's land border with Pakistan and Bangladesh. All right, it is the only, I think, not the only, but it is the paramilitary which is very large in number as compared to the other its counterparts, and it is guarding the longest border, the Pakistan and Bangladesh. All right, and Pakistan and Bangladesh borders. And the BSF has its own air wing, the marine wing, as well as an artillery regiment and commando unit. All right, means they're completely like an army itself. BSF had its air wing, that is the it can do its air support complete. Then marine wing, that means as a navy it can also work. Then it has its artillery regiment, that is to bifurcate at long distance. It must be having some Beauforts or the guns and howitzers, and they also have the commando units. All right, and it currently stands as the world's largest border guarding force. All right, it is the world's largest border guarding force, and BSF had term as the first line of defense of Indian territory. All right, it is the first line of defense of Indian territory. Now here is my so what favorite, the Central Industrial Security Force. As my I won't say leave it. Now the Central Industrial Security Forces. This is the logo. So protection and security is the motto of CISF. All right, and this is the uniform of CISF. Uh, these are actually the commando groups, the ninja commandos of CISF, and this the dangris which they have been wearing. This is the combat dress, and they all wear the khakis. All the paramilitary forces, so all the CAPFs wear the khaki except the Assam Rifles, and hence it is known. All right. Now the CISF came into existence in 10th March 1969. All right. On the 10th March, we raise its raising day. It is 1969 when it was formed. Actually, it was 1968, but its official statements came on the 1969 itself. All right, and 1968 it was started. Now, with the modest beginning, it has only 3 battalions. It was very small in size. All right, and it was to be providing the security cover to the PSUs, that is the public sector undertaking. Those were the public sectors. The places where government is getting good profits, and where more number of people are working, and so these were the places initially where CSF given the security. But with globalization and liberalization of economy, the CSF is no longer a PSU centric organization. All right. Initially, it was a PSU centric organization, but later on, it became a primary multi skilled security agency of the country. All right, and it is one of the most deadliest paramilitary force, or the CAPF, armed police forces of all the CAPFs. All right, now mandated to provide security to major critical infrastructure. Now it is not very famous like BSF and CRPF, but it provides a major security to the major critical installations of the country. All right, which are very important for the national security. Now, currently, CSF has been working in the nuclear installations, all right, where nuclear energy has been made, lots of radiation, and they are providing security over the nuclear installation and space installations as well. All right, so space establishments, then the airports and seaports and power plants. All right, it is giving its security and sensitive government buildings. Some intelligence building are there, along with parliamentary buildings and VIP securities. I will talk about it later. But these are very sensitive information, like RNAWs buildings. They have been giving the security, and the intelligence bureau security also, along with the CBI security is also been given by them. All right, and plus even the heritage monuments. When you go to any heritage monuments like Lal Killa, Qutub Minar, and what's not, uh, all right, there the security has been given by the CSF itself. And among the important responsibility, CSF has already been giving security in the Delhi Metro Railway Corporation, and even the metros employees have been saying that it is working better than the Delhi police, and it is also giving security to the VIP security, VIPs. All right, and when there is a disaster management, the CSF had its own fire department, which are dealing with the disaster management if there are any fires going on. All right, then there is an establishment of former police unit. There is also the CSF also has its establishment of former police unit, that is FPU, which gives its security in the United Nations at Haiti. All right, now next comes the Central Reserve Police Force. It's again one of the famous central paramilitary force. That is the Central Armed Police Forces. Right, so keep on coming to my mouth. Now, if we talk about the CRPF, now CRPF came into existence as the Crown Representative Police. All right, in 27 July 1939. All right, and it came the Central Reserve Police Force as an enactment of CRPF Act of 28 December 1949. earlier it was Crown Representative Police. All right, and basically the retired army officers were given the charge of dealing with law enforcement situations, and they were actually giving security to the crown. All right, and in the uh, it started in 1939 as Crown Police, and later it was renamed to CRPF on 28th December 1949. And now the mission of CRPF is to enable the government to maintain rule and law, public order, and international security effectively and efficiently. All right. It also preserves the national integrity and promotes social harmony and development by upholding the supremacy of constitution, and broad duties being performed by the CRPF as crowd control riots and control counter militancy and insurgency operations. It also has its commando unit, we have they have the Cobra, and they also have the RAF. All right, and they even provide VIP security as well, CRPF, and they also provide normal law enforcement help as well. All right. Now dealing with left-wing extremists over the coordination of large-scale security management, especially with regard to election and distributed areas, fighting enemy in the event of war. All right. They also fight at the event of war, and they participated in UN peacekeeping mission as per the government policy, as also in rescue and relief operations at time of natural calamities and disaster. All right. Now, next comes the ITBP, that is the Indian Tibetan Border Police. Now, actually, the area which is surrounding India, we never told that it is the Chinese part or China. All right. We always tell it that it is Tibet. So, hence, Indo-Tibetan Border Police was made. Now, ITBP was raised in 24th October 1962. Presently, ITBP is deployed in border guarding duties from Karakoram Pass. Now, what is the Karakoram Pass? That is near the Siachen. Karakoram range was given to the China by the Pakistan, as it was scared that it might be loosened by them as if India attacks. And India was going to attack, but now due to international pressure, India is not going to attack. And somewhat the situation of China and India is somewhat stable. They are dealing with lots of diplomatic security dialogues and international peacekeeping talks. But let's see what happens in future. And which is in Karakoram is in Ladakh, and to Lachepla in Arunachal Pradesh. So this is the complete area where the ITBP has been deployed, and it is providing security against the Tibet. Now Tibet is our part of, not our part of India, but actually it is an independent nation which was taken by the China, as it was very atrocious nation. Now, Karakoram Pass in Ladakh to Lachepla in Arunachal Pradesh. All right, covering around 3,488 kilometers of Indo-China border, and maintaining border outpost on the altitude of ranging 9,000 to 18,700 in western, middle, and eastern sector of Indian China border. That is western, middle, and the eastern sector. All right. Now the ITBP specialize in mountain force as and most of the officers and men are professionally trained mountaineers and skiers. All right. And being the first respond for the national disaster, ITBP has been carrying out numerous rescue operation and relief operation across the country. Now we are going to talk about our favorite, the National Security Guard. It is part of the Central Paramilitary Forces, but it is acting under the Ministry of Home Affairs. But the officers and the men recruited inside the NSG are either from the state police forces or the CAPFs, or they are from the army or the air force sometimes, and the navy as well. All right, that is it is a joint venture of the military as well as the police forces. All right, now these are the NSG, the National Security Guard, and let's see how it was formed and why it was formed and the different operation which took part and how it is bifurcated again. The National Security Guard (NSG) is the counter-terrorism unit. All right, they only deal with the counter-terrorism, and these are basically the urban warfare trained candidates. All right, they are very much. very proficient in the close quarter combats, and mostly in the urban areas. And it was raised in 1984. All right, following the Operation Blue Star, when the Blue Star happened, and Bhindranwale was killed, and and after that the assassination of Indira Gandhi also took place. And now, for combating terrorism activities with view to protect the state against internal disturbance, was formed. Okay, and but it was became an act of parliament in 1986. But initially, it was raised in 1984. Now, the basic philosophy of energy is swift and speedy strike, an immediate withdrawal from the theater of action. All right, the philosophy of energy is they have to be very quick, very swift, and they have to immediate withdrawal from the theater of action. Means they did something very extremely and they get out of there easily. All right. Now, the National Security Guard has been given the specific role to handle all facets of terrorism in any part of country as a federal contingency force. All right, and it is task-oriented force and has two complementary elements in the form of Special Action Group (SAG), comprising army personnels, and the Special Rangers Group (SRG), comprising personnel drawn from Central Armed Police Forces or the state police forces. Now, it is a task oriented force and it has two complementary elements, that is the SAG and SRG. All right. Now, SAG, Special Action Group, it consists of army personnels. All right. And the rest, that is the Special Ranger Group, are comprising of CAPFs as well as the state police forces, and it also includes the IPS officers in it. Now, lastly, we have the Shasastra Seema Bal, that is the SSB. Now, the SSB has been deployed in the Indo-Nepalese border. All right, and they also give protection to further in the northeast as well. All right. Now, let's talk about the SSB. Now, the Shasastra Seema Bal was actually the Special Service Bureau. All right, that is the Special Service Bureau, that is the Sashastra Bal, was conceived in November 1962 and eventually created in March 1963. Now, the Special Service Bureau, the work of Special Service Bureau then was the work of intelligence gathering, all right, in the Indo-Nepalese border, and the to see the insurgency which has been coming from Pakistan and Bangladesh, and they were initially as intelligence no intelligence support forces, but later it was named as Central Armed Police Forces as Shastra Mumble, and was thus conceived in November 1962. All right, and eventually created in March 1963. The sole object of achieving the total security preparedness, that is, they provide security, total security preparedness is their main goal in the remote borders. All right, the remote borders where the security couldn't be given, and there is no further good installations as well. So at those places, these were these were there to give the remote border areas to perform a stay behind role in the event of war, and they are not going no straight to the war, but they are always staying behind in the role of war and checking the people, those who are dead, or what are their identities, any type of intelligence gathering, have somebody survived, you know and now SSB is spread along the international border across the Uttarakhand, UP, Bihar, West Bengal, Sikkim, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh. All right, these are the places where they are being involved. Basically, they are being employed in the Indo-Nepalese border, along with little bit on the Bangladeshi border, Bangladesh and Sino border. All right. Now, the SSB present charter of duty is to safeguard the security of assigned borders of India and promote a sense of security among the people living in the border area. All right. Again, at the border areas, they always provide the security to the people. All right, and they are living in the border areas. They prevent trans-border crimes, smuggling, and other illegal activities. They are totally dependent upon them. All right, they stop people from giving the smuggling and the crimes and illegal activities. They prevent that, and they also prevent the unauthorized entry into the exit from the territory of India. Means no more entry from the unauthorized places from the territory of India, and they carry out the civic action program in the area of responsibility. All right, they uh, also provide carry out the civic action program in the area of responsibility, perform any other duty assigned in the central government, and they can also work on any of the duty which are assigned by the central government. Now, if we talk about the SSB, it is the smallest armed police forces among all other counterparts, and SSB is the being 3 by 4th deployed in the law and order. All right, in all those all those areas like Uttarakhand, UP, Bihar, West Bengal, Sikkim, Assam, and Arunachal Pradesh, they provide the law enforcement along with their counterinsurgency operations also it take part to stop the insurgents from different places, and they are also given duty of election duties also. Election duties also have been given to them. Now, I hope I have tried my best to make you understand about these forces, and this will be really helpful for all of you, so that you can easily understand what are the works of Central Armed Police Forces. Now, I have also made you understand what is the work of CAPFs, and what are the difference between CPMFs as well as the CAPFs and the CPO, which I will talk later but about it. That is the CPOs and CPMFs as well as the Central Industrial Security Forces. And we have already been talking about the paramilitary forces, that the CAPFs are actually the paramilitary. Technically, it is the paramilitary forces, but they are in 2011. It is renamed as Central Armed Police Forces. All right, by the P. Chidambaram, who was then Home Minister. All right, and we have also talked about the Assam Rifles and the NSG, where these are still the paramilitary forces, and but whenever the rule is being made, they are still made with the same name, the CPMFs, in the official documents. Now, I hope this will help you all, and it will help all of you to understand what is the role of all these things. And rest, I want to say that good night and Jai Hind, and keep studying and keep doing well, and always do your best. Always put your efforts, no matter what the situation is, no matter what the result is. Keep best and keep performing your best. Keep putting efforts. So thank you everyone, and Jai Hind.